Hello and what is up YouTube? My name is G3Iron and welcome to today's discussion where I'm going to be sharing 3 reasons why you should be stoked about the upcoming Delve December event. And in reality, this is just me sharing 3 reasons why I'm stoked, and maybe it'll get you excited, maybe it won't. I really don't care because I'm so stoked for this event. Hopefully some of that passion and excitement will rub off on you and you'll be excited to enjoy it as well. For those of you who are new to the channel, you can of course like, subscribe, and ding the bell to be notified about future video discussions just like this one. With just a week to go for the upcoming Delve event, we are also going to be doing a couple more videos featuring a couple of build ideas and suggestions for you to play in the upcoming Delve event, as well as some tips and tricks that you'll want to be remembering while you are attempting your plunge into the depths, into the darkness, into the insanity that is Delve. Without any further ado, let's get into the reasons why I'm excited for this upcoming event. The first reason why I'm excited for the December Delve event is that it's going to give us a ton of new restrictions. Now, while most of the time you will hear me complaining about player power or suggesting that maybe we ought to have more quality of life included in Path of Exile, and we've gotten a ton of those things over the last 2 years. I think that cluster jewels in and of themselves, besides for ascendancies, are probably the second most powerful individual thing inside Path of Exile available to players. That's another debate for another day. But my point is that we have gotten a ton of player power over the last 2 years since 2018 when Delve League was first released. We're not going to have access to basically any of the stuff that has come out except stuff that has been included with special Delve nodes here or there since August of 2018. So we're going to have a ton of new restrictions that are going to change the way how we as meta slave build creators are going about progressing in the Endless Delve event. For instance, we won't have access to cluster jewels or timeless jewels or trade whatsoever. This is a completely SSF event. So if your buddy finds something that's great, he won't be able to trade it to you. Even if it's a hand-me-down and he's no longer using it, they won't be able to trade it to you. Farmable divination cards, like that's out of the meta, that's out of the realm of possibility. You're not going to be doing that. You're not going to be target farming maps because there won't be maps. Atlas progression, by the way, if you're frustrated by Atlas progression ever, this is going to be an event for you. If you are looking for league-specific items or league-specific uniques, then this is not going to be an event for you because a lot of those things won't be available to you. And that's going to be really, really cool. Hideouts and even more anointments aren't going to be around. Blight maps aren't going to be around. There's just going to be a whole bunch of stuff that has come out since 2018 that won't be around. Stuff that's tied to the Atlas that won't be around. Conqueror's fights, Cirrus himself, the Elder and Shaper, they're not going to be around. Now, there's going to be some ways that you can access some of those items through clever uses of various Delve nodes that are available to you as you progress through Delve. But for the most part, it's the restrictions that I'm actually excited about. This is essentially putting us all who are going to be playing this event into a mini time machine and saying, hey, can you go play Delve with, SSF based rules, no trade, and with losing out on a whole bunch of power creep that has been added into the game over the last 2 years. Can you do that? I think that is a very interesting proposition, and the restrictions, while a lot of players are turned off by it, are specifically the reason why I'm excited for this. Reason number 2 I'm excited for the upcoming December Delve event is that you will never get interrupted from delving again with a sense of loss. Like, you still might get interrupted, but it's never going to really cost you anything if you are interrupted from a Delve cart push. For instance, do you hate it when you're delving and you've just begun your crawler's journey and then you'll get a PM from somebody for a trade? Then you're forced into a moment where you've got to decide, okay, do I respond to this person and still trade with them in a moment? Will they actually still wait around for me if I let them know that, hey, I'm just doing a delve and it'll be a second? What if it's a really long delve and they just decide, you know what, screw it, I'll go and trade with somebody else? You will never be interrupted by a trade again while you are delving during the Endless Delve event. Do you ever feel bad or hate it when you've gone and spent a ton of currency on a bunch of scarabs, you've saved up a massive amount of sulfite, and then you've gone to progress in your delve cart, pushing down further to a depth that you maybe have never pushed before, maybe to an encounter that you haven't gotten, or maybe to a specific node that's going to unlock a whole bunch of new possibilities for your build and for your progress, only to die, and there goes a whole bunch of your sulfite that you had just spent a whole bunch of time, essentially farming up, so that way you could do that set of progressions, and now it's all been wasted. You are never going to have that sense of loss of losing out on sulfite during the Endless Delve event. We're going to have infinite sulfite, as it were. We're going to be able to stay in Delve, completely level there, completely progress there. You will never feel like you have to interrupt your Delve progress in order to go do something else the Path of Exile is offering you. This is going to be delve heaven for all of the players who have said over the last 2 years, oh, we just wish we had endless amounts of sulfite to go play in delve. Now we've got it. That wish has been granted. In that same line of thinking, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but it's definitely happened to me. Do you hate it when you start a deep delve push and then you're like midway through your delve progression and then all of a sudden you've got to make a decision between changing potentially an explosive diaper or finishing your push on the cart? Push is probably a bad verb to use there. Anyway, there's tons of reasons why we get interrupted. Some of them are, of course, in-game reasons. Some of them are out-of-game reasons. But during this December Delve event, you will never feel like you've lost out on sulfite or investment simply because you have got to go do something else and you've got to abandon that particular cart push. You can always come back, and that is magnifico. Thank you, Grinding Gear Games, for giving us the Delve Endless event. Third and the final reason why I'm stoked about the Delve event, and I think you should be too. This is where I'm going to get most persuasive. I'm going to turn on my most seductive wiles and attempt to persuade you to join me in the darkness of the Delve event. We're going to have alternative leveling. Truly alternative leveling, not heist contracts where you jump into heist contracts, then you got to come back out in order to get more contracts, and then you got to go run through the zones anyway because your passive points are locked behind specific zones and specific missions on the 10X story campaign. No, this is truly alternative leveling. Grinding Gear Games is giving us a test case scenario. Every single player throughout Path of Exile's history who has ever said, I want an alternative way to get a character from level 1 creation screen to maps or to endgame or to an endgame version of Path of Exile should be playing this event. In order to communicate to Grinding Gear Games, players want alternative leveling options other than the 10X story campaign. We all can make angry Reddit threads, we can make forum posts, we can make YouTube discussion videos, we can post memes on Discord. All of those things are good to do, but a primary way to communicate to Grinding Gear Games that you want alternative leveling is to put your time into this 1 week event and show them, look, I'm willing to put time and spend gameplay on alternative leveling, and you might actually enjoy it. In fact, for those of you who have been crying out for this for years, I dare say you will enjoy it. Imagine getting your passive points as you level up and as you progress through the quest simply through a clickable altar. Imagine getting your ascendancy without having to go through lab trials or without having to find lab trials in an Uber lab setting. How many SSF players out there, since SSF has been created, have been frustrated by not finding that last Uber lab trial that they need in order to Uber ascend? Gone is that during this December Delve event. You will be able to push for your ascendancy and simply click on an altar in order to ascend. That is amazing. You will never lose out on your ascendancy option because you accidentally fought Azaro when he was too close to a reflect lieutenant. You will never lose out because you ran onto a trap or you DC'd or you AFK'd in a spot that you shouldn't. You will simply be able to ascend by clicking an option and selecting your ascendancies. Maybe you hate leveling through the 10X story campaign because of the random zones that get generated. Maybe there's a particular zone that you don't enjoy. I love Act 3, but I hate the sewers. I always feel like I get lost in them for whatever reason. Act 3 is like a PTSD warning for me. I go into the sewers and I just start losing my place. And where are those 3 statue busts that I'm supposed to give to Hargraves, who whatever his name is? Anyway, the point is if you've got particular zones that you don't want to level through again, you don't have to level through them in the Delve Endless event. And then maybe you've wanted to play PoE controlling the rewards that you're getting as you're progressing. For instance, if you need gems, if you need particular itemization, if you need maybe jewels for your particular build, maybe you need more currency in order to craft on all of those above previously mentioned things, you can do this by targeting the zone that you want to progress to while you're going through the Endless Delve event. This is the alternative leveling experience that Grinding Gear Games is offering to players. Now it's up to us to seize this moment and seize this opportunity to communicate to GGG clearly, loudly, and proudly. They're only giving us a week to do it, and it's over the holidays. But this is our one shot to tell them before Path of Exile 2 comes out, hey, we really want alternative leveling, and we're willing to play this instead of other games, which will go nameless for this discussion. We're willing to play this rather than other games because we want alternative leveling, and we love PoE just that much. Well, thanks so much for watching and for joining us for today's discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, what you're excited about for this upcoming December Delve event. We're about 7 or 8 days away from it right now, so get all of your chores done, get all of your honey-do list. If your spouse, your significant other, your kids, if any of them have got anything they want you to do, your boss, your grandma, your friends, etc., if it needs to be done, do it now so that way you are ready to go in 7, 8 days time, whenever it is that the December Delve event launch will launch on December 11th US time. So I'll see you there and enjoy going insane as we all delve to whatever depth we can push our way to. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope today is the day that a Mirror of Calandra drops for you. Thanks for watching that video. If you'd like more information on any of our discussion points today, you can see them down below in the video description. If you'd also like to join our Discord or support our Patreon, you can do so with the links down below. Thanks again, and big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.